Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today I wanted to focus a little bit about balance, some different ways that we can improve it, ways that we can check our balance, and the benefits of having good balance. Now, balance is a complex series of your muscles working together to find your center of gravity and maintain control of it. It becomes very important as we age to practice and maintain good balance because our muscles will naturally atrophy, meaning they'll get weaker over time if we don't use them. So the more that we practice this, the better balance we'll have as we grow older. Now, balance and having good balance is very important. It allows us to control our steps when we walk. It allows us to maintain control when we go up and down stairs, and also when we walk on uneven or slippery surfaces. And being in control of your steps and walking with intention is very important in those situations to avoid injury and avoid falling down. Now, balance, if you can zoom in, is not just a rock steady center that some people have. You'll notice if you look closely when someone is standing on one foot, there will be minute little movements of the ankle and the foot as the body tries to find that center of balance. And using those muscles is what builds good balance and teaching your body to move the balance from side to side and back to front. Now, some days you'll have better balance than others, and some days you'll just feel off and have difficulty walking with ease. And hopefully with these practices and with these exercises, you'll have more good days than bad days. The first thing I'd like to do is what is called a balance check. And let's check our balance to see how good we are. There's a few different levels that we'll be doing. The first level is called level 1, and you simply pick one foot up a few inches off the ground and keep it close to your other foot. If you're able to do this with relative ease, then you can move on to level 2. Level 2 is where you bring your foot across your knee, which raises your center of gravity and makes it a little bit more challenging. And if you need to, you can bend your knee slightly to give you a little bit more control. Also, if you have difficulty with sore or injured knees or ankles or backs, you can also use a chair with any of these balance checks or any of these exercises to augment your balance. So if you find it difficult to balance on your own, you can put some of your weight on the chair and then slowly try to let go as much as you can so that your muscles are doing the work for you. So this is level 2. And then level 3 is when we raise our foot up to about our waist. It might take a little bit more flexibility and some practice to get into this position, but raising your center of gravity even higher makes it even more challenging to stay in balance. And there's a couple additional levels of balance check that I only recommend if you have greater flexibility and a better sense of balance. Level 4 is taking your foot and extending it outward straight to the side. And I have to keep my knee bent and shift my weight to maintain the balance. And then level 5 is by lifting one foot up and bringing it behind you and trying to keep your torso and your legs straight and parallel with the ground. And you can have your hands out to the sides or out in front or behind, whatever helps you with your balance. So I recommend trying at least the first 3 levels of balance check if you can, and again using a chair if you need. And it's something that should be done on both sides. So if you find you have better balance on one leg than the other, that will kind of teach you which side needs a little bit more work. So we'd like to practice on both sides to make sure that the ankle joint, the knee joint, the calf muscles, and all the other muscles are working together on both sides fairly. Okay. And so on. Okay. Now I'd like to show you some exercises that we can do to actually strengthen those muscles and get those joints to work together to improve your balance overall. The first one is a very simple exercise where you're just shifting your weight. So you start with your feet about shoulder width apart, and you'll want to move yourself from side to side and feel your weight and balance shifting from one leg to another. And you can also shift forward and shift backwards. Again, if you need a chair for these exercises, go ahead and grab one so that you can maintain stability. So just shifting your weight allows you to move your center of gravity in different directions and kind of feel where it is in your body and let your muscles adjust to maintain that balance. The next exercise is what we call rocking from toes to heels. Again, we'll want to start with our feet about shoulder width apart, and we'll go up onto our toes. You can go onto the balls of your feet if you don't feel comfortable going up on your toes. And then slowly rocking back onto your heels, rocking back on your heels and picking your toes up ever so slightly. It doesn't have to be a very large angle, just a little bit. And then front, and then back. And if you do this slowly, you might need to use your arms for balance, and that's okay. But if you do this slowly, it teaches those muscles to gain control of your balance, to find that center point that you need, and to hold it when necessary. So I recommend doing just that exercise back and forth about 5 times. And then we can go side to side. So I want to kind of tip up onto the sides of my feet, feel my weight shifting over, and go to the other side. Now if you have bad knees or bad ankles, I strongly recommend using a chair or some other device to help you maintain balance so you don't put a lot of pressure on a joint that might be injured. So this works the different muscles again to trade that balance back and forth. And if you do about 5 times on each side, I think that will help strengthen this a little bit each day. From here, we're going to put those two together, and we're going to make this into a circular motion where we'll start by rocking back, then to the side, then to the front, then to the other side, and back again. And you'll notice if I keep a slow circular pattern without stopping, it makes it a little bit more challenging because now you're trading off the weight front to back and side to side. Now, the slower that you go on this, the more challenging it's going to be, but the more benefit you will see. Your muscles in your ankles and your legs and calves will actually get much stronger if you go much slower. And I would recommend doing this about 4 or 5 times in one direction and then stopping and going in the other direction. Because we're not just trying to find the balance, we're trying to maintain control of that balance as we're walking and moving in different directions. So I recommend 5 times circling counterclockwise and then 5 times circling clockwise. And that will help strengthen those muscles every day. From there, there's another exercise that you can do called calf or toe raises. And this is just simply going up onto the balls of your feet or onto your toes as high as you can comfortably. And lifting your weight up and holding it for about 3 to 5 seconds and then raising down. That's something that will work the calf muscle and make your legs a little bit stronger when you stand and when you walk. And again, if you have difficulty with any of your joints or with balance, you can use a chair to help maintain balance while you're doing this. This helps to stretch out the tendons in the foot as well. So if you practice all of these exercises a few times every week or once a day if you can, it will definitely strengthen all of the muscles involved in finding your balance and maintaining it. And the practice of finding your center of gravity and finding your balance will help make this much, much easier. This allows us, when we walk, to practice control, so that when we step, we're in control of where we place our foot. We don't want gravity to pull it down for us, because then gravity will control our walking instead of us controlling it. We like to make sure that we walk with intention, so we know where we're placing our balance, where we're placing our feet, and how we're shifting our balance between our steps. And this is something, whether you're 2 years old or 200 years old, it's something that could benefit us all. Thank you again for joining us.